Bonjour, I'm Marlon Clay. I served in the Republic of the Ivory Coast, #1 in a group to go there in 1962 to 64. I was an I was a secondary school teacher, teaching English as a second language, and I taught at the École Normale de Dabou and then the Collège Moderne de Grand Bassam, both of which were on the coast. Just to give you a flavor of it, I taught from old textbooks that had been recycled from France, and I really understood colonialism when I had to teach an English lesson about going to the beach to get a tan to African students. Can you believe it? It was a great experience. It changed my life. Just that's what we all say.
Thank you.
My name is Kathy Parker, and I was in Cote d'Ivoire from 1965 to 67, and my village of assignment was Tibisu. It was in the central part of the country and in the Baoulé area. The pump was carefully controlled, frequently locked, et cetera, et cetera. So anyhow, one morning we arrived out at this village, and the team was there. And one of the other things that they were doing with the people was treating their wounds. And some of these wounds were pretty disastrous, because what the Baoulé would do would be to take a piece of wire, stick it in the fire like that, and then stick it in the wound where the worm was coming out, thinking that it was going to kill the worm. Well, what it would do, among other things, would be to just, cause massive infection, and God knows how many people probably even died of tetanus from this process. But anyhow, one morning we arrived, and the nurses were lancing the people's infected sores. So they had this young woman down on the ground, seated like this with her legs out, and they were going to lance her foot. And we watched. Well, I felt myself getting a little oozy, because I can't stand blood. So my partner, Roma, I remember her pushing on my shoulders, and she just pushed me down to the ground as fast as she could, make me sit on the ground, and then put my head between my legs like this. Well, I mean, the ladies in the village were just, what happened to the blowfoy, the white lady, and oh my word, everybody was, I don't think that we had eaten anything in the village that morning, and I don't recall eating or drinking any water, but they were immediately, thinking, oh, she's been poisoned or something has happened, So, I kind of regained consciousness. I don't know if I ever was totally passed out, but they helped me to, a local hut and put me on a bed. And the other thing that was going through my head all this time is that Peace Corps always told us never to get, a shot in the village, no matter how bad off we were, because we'd get an infection of some sort from unsterilized needles. But I think it was, it might have been, I can't remember if it was that time or another time, but I did allow myself to take an injection. And I clearly remember, there was a little window in the hut where they placed me. And I remember, hearing all these voices, people looking up at me, trying to peek over and see how I was doing. Anyhow, yeah, that was, I mean, they took that foot and the nurse went like this and, you know, there was pus and blood and pieces of worm and everything that was coming out. Oh, thank God, you know, Roma was strong enough to take it because, I mean, if two of us had gone out, it probably would have been pretty bad. But anyhow, so I recovered. I had something to eat. I think that we...
I'm Eric Brenner. I was in the Peace Corps in the Ivory Coast in Cote d'Ivoire from 1966 to 68. I taught English and music and was a track and field coach as well in the town of Dabou, about 45 minutes west of Abidjan. And while I was in Ivory Coast, I met my wife-to-be, Carlene
Brenner.
And you were staff there at the time?
I was staff in the Peace Corps office, yes.
Okay. Any other little anecdote or memory you want to share?
Peace Corps has remained a part of our life over the years in a number of ways. Both my wife and I worked in Peace Corps training programs after our work in the Ivory Coast.
Hi, my name's Michelle, and I was in Cote d'Ivoire from 1999 to 2001.
And my name is Erica, and I was in Cote d'Ivoire from 2001 to 2002. And seeing you here at the Folk Art Festival is the first time we've seen each other since service.
It is
crazy.
I know. So great to see you.
I know, I might get teary-eyed actually. So let's see, I know you from Peace Corps because you stayed around after your service. And what I remember about you is that you were always this very calm presence that helped me when I was in the Capitol. Not that we spoke a lot, but just that I remember feeling that presence. So 10 years later, I felt like I needed to tell you that on film.
Oh, great. I'll say something to you too then.
This is Love Fest in Santa Fe.
Yeah, so what I remember about you is your beautiful bright smile and your bright presence. And I feel it right now. It's so good to see you again. It's been 10 years.
Yeah, weird. Yay, Peace Corps. So weird.
I know. Is that good?
Yo,